Hi, my name is Jorge Coria. I'm an academic advisor, and I want to go ahead and make this short instructional video guide of how to use a new system in DegreeWorks, which is the SEP or the Plans tab. So we'll get right into it. Hopefully, you already gone through the training as far as questions to ask when advisement begins. This is basically just going to focus on the actual steps on how to create plans in the Plans tab, since the Planner tab is going to be eliminated from DegreeWorks. So first thing is you need to get into Student Service Center. Say, for example, I'm going to load up a student that I have been helping. His name is Diego Quintero. This is an Impel ID. The way to get to DegreeWorks, you should know it's going to be through Student Services. If you go down here to where it says Advisement and Transcript, and you click on DegreeWorks Online Advisement, it should open up this page for you. You click on DegreeWorks. And then from students' end, they will not be able to look for multiple Impel IDs. In your case, you can just type in the ID number of the student that you want to advise. So once you do this, this is going to pop up. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the layout of the intro screen for DegreeWorks. In this case, the student is enrolled currently in 12 credits. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with the important things that you need to note on the Plans tab. So make sure that you click on the Plans tab, which is going to be right next to Planner. And I believe in this case, the student has a previous advisement that was done before the spring semester. So what we want to do is you're going to make a new plan. You're going to click on this tab here. You're going to click on plan, a blank plan. And this is the screen that's going to populate, right? So once you're here, the first thing you want to do is you're going to go ahead and label this whatever it is that you are advising for. So in this case, we're going to, let's say, advise for the student for the fall semester. And I'm going to go ahead and put that I'm advising him for his business administration degree. And then one of the most important things is we need you to put your name on the plan title itself, because that's basically the only way that we know who is the person or the advisor that went ahead and made this plan for the student. Okay. So the next step is when you have this, all you're going to do is you're going to click on active, click on locked. Okay. And then make sure that you save it. You see it here on the bottom. It's very important that you save every step, because the way that we had the Planner tab, when we use that, it would kick us out once in a while if you didn't constantly save. So we ask, or I recommend that you save after everything that you put into this plan. If you had a class, save it, keep saving it. That way you won't lose any of the information that you've already put in there. Okay. So the next step is quickly, we're going to go over here. You're going to see this plus or minus here on the very top, and you're going to see this little tab here. Okay. This little tab here is going to be if you wanted to put notes. So if you click on this, this is going to pop up. You're going to click on add a note. And for example, here, the way that I usually, for example, I know the student might be missing a writing intensive course. They may be telling you what major they're going to follow when they graduate from BMCC. Anything that you think is important for the overall career of the student, you want to go ahead and put it on the top note. That way, there'll be a record of it. And in case anybody else meets with the student, we actually can read back and see what was discussed with the advisor. The most important thing you're going to put on this area is going to be the writing intensive. I'm just going to go ahead and just type in writing intensive as a test here. Normally what you want to do is maybe copy and paste what's on the main page for the plan. So all the notes there, you would usually just copy and paste it here, and that'll keep a record of it. Let's say we're going to put student stated that he plans to transfer to Baruch. So for business students, that's going to be probably one of the most common places for them to transfer after BMCC, or where they want to transfer. So you want to go ahead and put that, and then make sure that you put done. And then when you see the little 3 lines in there, it means that there's a note. And if you scroll over, it'll tell you what the note actually kind of like gives you like a little preview of what the note is about, and will not show you the whole note. If you want to see the note, you have to click on it again and double click on it, and then you'll be able to see the note itself. Okay. But after you do that, make sure that you save it again. And once it turns gray, it means that the plan is saved. The next step is going to be to add a semester. So if you add a term, you're going to click on this and it tells you what term do you want to add. We're going to go right into fall 2020. And then you'll see this populate here. Okay. And what you're going to do there is you have another plus and minus. Now that is going to be different than the top one. This is going to add courses. So you're going to use this to add a course for the semester. Okay. You're going to have 4 options. And the one that you're going to use more commonly is going to be course. So once you do that, you're going to see this actually populate right here for you. Okay. And if you want to do multiple, you're going to just keep adding course. And what we're asking advisors to do is, normally we'll advise for 5 courses or 15 credits, right? Because we know that doing 15 credits a semester will get the student to hopefully graduate within the 2 years. So we normally recommend the 5. We do want to explain to the student that they do not have to sign up for 15 courses if they cannot take 15 credits, if they cannot handle 15 credits, but at least give them the option of what would be the options for them to sign up for if they want to do 15 credits for that semester, okay? Now, we're going to notice this. Once you open up this and there's 5 blank spaces in here, you will not be able to save it. It's not going to give you the option because you actually have to fill it up with something, okay? So what you need to do in this case, because unless you remember exactly what courses the student is going to need, what I would recommend, you're going to click on the audit button, which is here. And then basically, this is going to be the main difference between the old way of using the planner and the new way of using plans. This does not have the courses side by side. You're going to have to do this audit. And then you'll be able to see what classes the student is missing, right? So you're going to pick some classes from here. So in this case, I know that the student still needs a Math 56 remedial course, and they also need that to be able to get into pre-calculus. So the best thing for them to do is to take the combination course, which is Math 206.5. If you don't know what that is, we actually explain that in the PowerPoint that we're doing with the presentations for trainings. But that course is a combination of Math 56 and Math 206. They will get the 4 credits for Math 206, and they will complete the Math 56 all in one. It's a longer course. They're going to be spending more time per week in that course itself. The difference is going to be that because it's a 0.5 class, which is a combination course, BMCC does not treat it as a 4-credit course. They're going to treat it as an 8-hour class because it's going to be 8 hours they're going to be spending in the course. So make sure that you're aware of that, because that course itself is going to eat up 8 hours out of the 18 maximum that they can take per semester. Okay, so that would be one class that we're going to put. The other one, because the student is currently in English 101, you can put them in English 201. We assume they're going to pass it. They're going to go ahead and take that class. So that's 2 classes that you can go ahead and give them as options. The other one would be Economics 201. They cannot take Economics 202 just for the fact that you have to be completed Math 56 first. And if you're not completing Math 56, they're not going to be able to take microeconomics. So that class is going to be one that you're going to skip. They can also take business law. Now, if you want to write these down as options, that way when you go back to the planner, you can just go ahead and start typing off based on your notes. You can do that. They can also take accounting. They can take marketing. Those are the options that you can actually give to the student. So we're going to go ahead and go back here. We're going to close that out. And then the first thing we're going to put is Math 206.5. And the system is going to put 4 credits here. I would put it as critical. Critical for me, usually when I put this is because it's a class that's going to lead to something else. So because you need that class to be able to get to Calculus 1 and statistics, that is going to be a critical class for me here. Okay. The other class would be English 201. And again, the system automatically is going to fill in the credits. You don't have to worry about knowing how many credits each class is going to be worth. You do have to remember that Math 206.5 is worth 8 hours because it's a combination course. So what you're going to do is, if you notice here, there's going to be notes that you can put as well. This is a note per class. Okay, so if you go here, you're going to click on this. You're going to do the same thing that you did with the writing intensive area on the very top. And you can put here Math 206.5. And this is basically for the student to know you can put this a combination course that is worth 4 credits. Okay, that's for them to be aware of that the class is going to be worth 8 hours out of the total hour credits that they can do per semester, which is 18. You're going to put done. And again, you're going to see the little lines. That means that there's a note already saved. So we're going to keep going. I'm going to put English 201. Let's put Economics 201. Right. Another reason you might want to put the critical is because these are going to be important courses towards completing their major, or going to be important courses for their transfer. So I would recommend I would put English as well as important. Economics is an important part of the business administration plan. The other class that we can put here is going to be business law. And it's also an important course. And then let's say we want to give the student accounting 122. Okay. And that's also going to be, now in accounting 122 would be important because in this case, this major requires accounting 222, which is the second part of this course. You have to finish 122 before you can go ahead and take that. So once you put the critical on everything and everything is filled out, now you can go ahead and click on the save button here and it will actually save the plan. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. Now to take a real quick look at it, if you click on this view button here, it's going to give you several options. So you're going to go into the notes part, and this is the way the student is going to be able to view this plan. Okay. So first of all, you see the name of the plan at the very top with your name right next to it. Hopefully, if you typed it in, it gives you the important note for the career of the student, which is going to be writing intensive. The student plans to go to Baruch, and then you're going to see that semester that you advise the student for. It's going to say fall 2020, and then it has the 5 classes that you advise them for. The notes will appear right below the class, which is the important thing, right? So if you want to like print it out for the student, in this case right now, we're not printing. You can save it. If you click on the print button, it will allow you to save it. You're going to click on the print, and then you can save it as a PDF. That's what I'm usually doing for students right now. Instead of actually picking a printer, click on save as a PDF. This is what it actually is going to look like. You're going to click on save. Then you can actually save that plan and you can forward it. And these are all the plans that I've made for students that I've advised already. And then it saves it already with their information, right? You can save it there. And that way you can go ahead and email that copy to the student. If you're doing a Zoom meeting, it'd be easier for they can actually see it. You can actually tell them where to find it. It might not be necessary for you to send that PDF out to them. But if you do want to have that, as a backup for them to have it in case they're not able to find it, then that's the way to do it. Send them a PDF. If you want to go back and change anything on it, you're going to go back to edit. You have to click on edit, and it'll open up the plan again. Okay. If you want to add more options, let's say for the fall. So let's say you click on the audit button again, and the audit button is going to show you with the classes that you advise already on the plan. Where do they fit into this? So here's the 206.5, eliminating the need for the Math 56. It's giving them the 4 credits on the plan itself. English 201 is going to be here. Here's Economics 201, which is macroeconomics. Here's the intro to business. Well, this is business law. This is the accounting course. Okay. So everything is automatically filled in where it's supposed to go. So if you want to give the student more options, so in case they, if they change their mind, which, students usually do, you can give them more options. You can list them somewhere else on the plan. So basically mark down what other options you're going to have. So in this case, that you can give them marketing 301, marketing 100. You can also give them an elective here from the media and the arts. This is what I would recommend because they have so many options here. Is what I'm usually do is I copy the whole section, and this could be for this section or any other section. You see there's a lot of electives up here in the science, life and physical science. And there's going to be a lot of electives that they can pick from in the scientific world area as well. Okay. You can copy and paste this. Okay. But keep in mind that you can also give them marketing as an option. And you can give them something from this area. You can give them something from the life and physical science or the scientific world. So what we're going to do is once you copy that part, instead of putting a note for the class or for the overall career, you can actually do a note for the semester. Okay, so click on this part. You're going to add a note. And normally I just label this alternative courses for, and be specific on what semester they're for. Because a lot of times you will list a lot of electives or a lot of options here, but if you don't put the semester, sometimes students will get confused. They don't know if they can actually interchange courses for that semester. So normally to prevent that, I go ahead and put for the semester that I'm giving the alternative courses. And then I'm going to go ahead and put, I'm just going to put bullet points there. So now that you have this, you can first of all we said that marketing 100 was going to be an option. The other option is going to be student needs CIS 200, okay? But student cannot take CIS 200 until they completed CIS 100. And that's something that I just know about this major for business administration. So what you're going to do is you're going to put CIS 100, which is the class that you were actually advising them for, because they have to do that. And you have to put a note for the option they have. And you can put student can be exempt from this course if they pass the CIS 200 placement exam that is offered by the testing department in S103. Okay. So as I know right now, there is not any information as of yet for how they're going to proceed with giving this exam, because normally they would have to go in person and take the test there at the testing department. But this exam basically places them out of CIS 100, which is an intro class for computers. And if they're able to pass this exam with the testing department, then they will be exempt from 100, and then they can go ahead and sign up for CIS 200. Okay, so that's just like a side note that you're going to be able to put on there. Now we're going to go ahead and paste what we actually are going to bring over from the other elective. So instead of pasting it straight in here, which this is the way that it would appear if you paste it in, it looks a little funky. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. This is the back, or this is the undo button. Click on that. Instead of doing that, you're going to click on this option here in the middle. It's paste as plain text. So you click that, another window pops up. Save it on there like this, and then click OK. And now it populates this way. This is the way I usually end up putting this option here. It's media and the arts, and then they can take one class in any of those sections. So you have art, music, or theater, basically, and different kinds of classes within those three areas. And they can choose anyone. It says take one class per minute. So that's another option. I normally like to put, because this is an elective section, I usually like to put this in bold so they know that this is where it's coming from and this is where it's going to go. So this would be three other options they would have, aside from the 5 that you already given for the semester. Plenty of options for them to sign up, especially if it's early in the semester or early in the registration or the advisement period. As we get closer to the beginning of the semester and students start to trickle in, and it's like very few choices that are left, it becomes more important for you to put more options here, because that eliminates the student having to go on and get re-advised and going back and ask an advisor, what other options do I have? If you list everything that they have as an option, they can easily go in there and change your schedule around, okay? So if you do this, and then you're gonna put done, and again, remember, always you're gonna go there and save. Now what's gonna happen is when you go back to the notes, this is what it looks like now. So you have your important note at the very top, the alternative courses that you're giving for the fall, and then the 5 classes that you're actually giving for the fall semester. And again, you can save it again and send the PDF, or just if you're doing a Zoom advisement, you can just show them how to get to this area through DegreeWorks. And that plan is going to be saved. So when the student goes back to worksheets, it'll show them the main plan here. They're going to go back to plans, and now your plan should be the one that populates first. So the one that you just made. If it doesn't, it's actually going to show up like this. So any plans that were made previously are going to show up. Just tell them to go by the date. So this is the day that I made this plan for the student. Just double click on that, and then they'll have access to the plan that you made for them. Okay. This is the faster version of this. We try to go into more detail in the trainings that we do, but this should do in a pinch. If you're stuck and you don't know, what to press or anything, just refer to this video and it'll give you a little bit of good information. If not, just make sure that you contact one of us in the Academic Advisement and Transfer Center that work with the faculty and staff trainings, and we'll answer any questions that you have. Okay. Aside from that, that should be pretty much it. The last thing that we asked you to do once you finish all this and you know that you advise a student, then go back to the student center and make sure that you remove the advisement hold. Okay. So some of you may have access to it. Hopefully everybody has access to it, but if you don't, this is going to be important because this is what's going to allow the student to register for their classes. So you're going to notice this on the student's account, that the little red markup here. You're going to click on that, and it should open up all these, any holds that the student has. This is the one that we're getting rid of, the advisement required. Okay, and because I did make an advisement plan for the student, I can go ahead and remove that. You're going to click on this ADV on the left-hand side. It gives you this look at this view. You're going to click on release, and then put OK. Okay. So then you see that the hold went away. The other one they have here, when you see a bursar transcript hold, that means that there's a hold on the student's account, but they will not keep them from registration. A bursar transcript hold means that they might owe like a smaller amount. So the only thing that's going to affect is if the student requests a transcript, it will not be released to the student until they pay off whatever amount they owe. Okay. But this, once you take off your advisement hold, then the student now is free to go in there and actually register for their classes for the semester. Okay. I hope this video helped. And again, if any questions that you have, please refer to any one of the members of the faculty staff DegreeWorks training team. Okay. Thank you.